Boom, ever onward tribe. Time for another Father War story. If you haven't followed these, when I started my career in the Navy, your first leader, the commanding officer to a SEAL team or any Navy command, any military command, is like the CEO. It's the top person. And the first commanding officer I work for is to this day the best officer I ever worked for. He's a community legend. He's absolutely one of the greatest leaders we've ever produced. What a lot of people don't know, I mean, those that were in knew, but not everybody knew, is he was a Marine. He was in the Marine Corps before he joined us in the SEAL teams. And I believe I have my timeline right when he was done with or wanting to transfer from the Marine Corps to the Navy, to the SEAL teams. You can't be in another service, then come become a SEAL. There's other units that will accept you and you can augment and be part of their team and not change services. The SEAL teams is pipelined. It is 100% Navy only. We bring in other people to help us, but to be a SEAL, you have to cross-rate what's called into the Navy. So he comes into the Navy, and if I understand it right, if I remember right, he was one of the oldest people at the time to have ever gone through BUDS, our basic SEAL training command. We have a cap at 28 years old is the oldest you can go through it. Trust me, it's a young man's game going through that program anyway. Trying to do that later in life is beyond me. But as I understand it, he went through at 36. So we'll make exceptions for somebody that was in an elite unit or coming from a sister service because they've already cut their teeth and proved themselves. But as I've heard, he went through at 36. Now, when he showed up at SEAL training, that's an old man by basic training standards. Of course, he's going to be the class leader, the senior officer, the person that's going to run that class. We have all sorts of evolutions we run in any given day. I mean, you have 5 or 6 physical things you need to do every day just to get through a day. It's a brutal program. There are 3 events you need to do once a week, and you'll do those every week of training, and you have to get faster basically every time you do it, or the standard gets more challenging each time you go through it. That's a 4-mile time run on the beach, boots and pants, soft sand. Sometimes it's hard sand depending on tides. A 2-mile ocean swim for time, run for time as well, and an obstacle course for time. Our obstacle course is unique in the world of obstacle courses. I've been to Ranger School where they have a very famous obstacle course that has its own nickname and its own fear and mystique about it. That obstacle course actually covers I think a couple miles, or at least over a mile. So there's a lot of distance in between obstacles. The SEAL obstacle course is very unique in that it is tight. So the entire course is maybe, you could fit 2 football fields kind of side by side. The obstacles come fast and hard. They're designed in a perfect order to make your grip strength and your upper body, arms smoke out. So you get towards the scary obstacles where you're up high off the ground trying to hold on for dear life when you're already gassed and tired. It's a huge max VO2 cardio type exercise. About the 5th obstacle in the obstacle course is what's called the cargo net. And it's a 60-foot net, just your classic, you think of a military net with a grid of line, rope. You got to climb up that thing and then go down the other side. 60 feet high. I don't know how high that feels when I explain it. When you get on top of it on the coast with wind blowing and it shaking, you feel like you're 4,000 feet up. If you have a problem with heights, you will not enjoy that obstacle, that's for sure. As the story goes, Father War going through the program goes running through the obstacle course for the first time, and for the first several times they'll have a SEAL instructor on every challenging obstacle just to make sure you do it right, hold you accountable if you do something wrong, fall short of it, and probably beat you up for doing it wrong. But as the story goes, Father War goes through the first 3 obstacles, and when he gets to the cargo net, he runs right around it and keeps going. And the instructor's like, whoa, did you fail to see the 60-foot cargo net? And Father War says, no, I saw it. And he's like, well, yeah, you got to go up over it. You don't get to skip it. And he's like, let me tell you something, instructor, whatever. I've been in, a combat unit for about 15 years. I've been in the jungles of the South Pacific. I've been in urban warfare. I've been in remote terrain in the mountains. And on no battlefield I have ever seen have I seen a 60-foot cargo net. And if I did, I'd go around it. As it's told, the instructor loved it so much, he said, carry on, and he never climbed that cargo net just based on the charisma and the ability to walk himself through that and say, this is not something I need to do. have the confidence from time to time to break the rules or do what you need to do to put yourself in a great position. It'll pay huge dividends. Ever onward.